Hi, this is Duncan from Metal Epidemic. I'm in Glasgow on the 30th of October with the great Vukovi. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Really good. Great name, by the way, Metal Epidemic.
It's the guy behind the camera, not me. Not me at all.
Great name.
Right, okay.
Great name, because there is an epidemic.
Riffs.
The site literally got started right at the beginning of COVID as well, which was unintentional, like completely unintentional.
That worked out well.
It gave us something to do. But you guys, speaking of things to do, segue, you guys didn't miss a beat during COVID at all. The thing with the release of Nula is that it felt like every couple of months there was something about to drop, or ahead of the release. Was that a kind of conscious plan, or did it just kind of happen that way, that you kind of used that time to continue the forward momentum you had coming off the last album into this one?
I think for our own sanity, it was a kind of, it sounds cliche, but a sink or swim thing with that, and we were right, can I drop the ball here? Let's just try and write a couple of bangers, do what we're good at, and just try and focus. Let's not let this kind of fucking fizzle out.
Yeah.
Because it would have been very easy for that to happen.
Of all times.
Yeah. Especially when you can't even be in the same room as each other, and fucking money and tours being cancelled. The music industry just stopped. So, Hamish says this all the time, we sort of flourished over lockdown. It was a blessing for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, we always wanted to try and keep putting out singles. Even after the first album, we spoke about it, because we always looked up at bands like Dom Broco. They would just put out an album, a couple months later they'd have a single out, and you'd be like, holy crap, man, they're just not wasting any time.
That's the thing, they don't drop the ball, so it's just new, and people's attention spans are zilch right now.
And we were quite inspired by that, but the problem is, it's when the world wasn't stopped, finding the time, the money, the energy was really difficult. But when there was nothing to do during COVID, it was the perfect time for us to reassess.
I actually wish we wrote more now. We didn't think it was going to do as well as it did.
No.
And all this, everything sort of came together quite nicely.
Not at all. The band sort of we're much bigger, but it has jumped up considerably from before lockdown, which is mad that's happened, honestly, because we weren't playing any shows.
I know.
We just played the singles game, and it paid off, thankfully.
I think from as someone that really likes your band, there was an excitement about that, a constant buzz of, they're working on something else. There's an album coming, that album's eventually going to drop, and you sometimes find that, like you were saying, that maybe the worst thing you can do, especially when you're starting to make that climb up the ladder, bands like Metallica or whatever, they don't worry about a lockdown. They can put a pause for a couple of years and then come back with something, but you guys always felt like you were making this, it was a constant momentum, and there is a danger, especially when you're trying to crack through that next level, that glass ceiling, that if you don't push through it at that stage, it can be make or break.
I agree.
How much of the experiences you were going through in lockdown then actually made it into the album? Because lyrically, you go some dark places, but the tunes themselves always have this air of positivity about them as well. It's a very fun, very Moorish album to listen to, but there's some deep content in there. Is that you kind of reaching into the experiences over that, or was there other ideas floating around that you want to kind of cover?
I think with lockdown, it kind of made me have to, I was more in my own head during lockdown, and I think you end up having to, a lot of things I felt surfaced, that maybe things I hadn't dealt with, and it's just things that you kind of buried for a long time. So then that, I felt over lockdown, that I did get really not well, mentally with that, and then it got to a point where it's I have to deal with this. I can't ignore this anymore, and so I really feel like Nula is more about the healing process, and lockdown, to be honest, I think if it wasn't for lockdown, I don't really know where I would be. It kind of made me have to reset. It was almost like I didn't have a choice, because I was spiraling. Before lockdown I was spiraling, that was a positive again for me. But Nula, I feel like, even though it's really dark, it's actually a positive album.
Definitely.
It's not, it's But
it's kind of cathartic.
yeah,
on that level
yeah,
then,
it's having to face your own demons. And again, it sounds all cliche, but I should write that one down.
Yep.
Face your own demons. No, like so. But I think the process, it was so fun because I think like Hamish, you got more like confident with like Logic and all the production stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously we used Bruce as well, but I think we like, because we were doing it ourselves, like we just fucking went tonto with like Logic and stuff, and you're coming up with these mad sounds and fucking synth parts and guitar parts. It was just like it was fun because you start to kind of come in your own.
So I suppose like even taking that kind of more hands-on DIY approach to your music, does that mean that you're now always in writing mode? Are you always thinking about things from a production and writing point of view then?
I mean, you that never really turns off.
Yeah.
You can't really turn it off, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Especially as you learn and gain knowledge as well. You want to like keep exercising that knowledge. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, we're already just trying to work on some demos and gagging to keep going. But
I'm already like so excited for the new stuff we're working on, because I feel like we're already just pushing that. Trying to push more boundaries and like I think it is so fun. That actually the writing part, when you fuck about with Logic, that's the funnest part, because you come up with the most random things like
I think the thing what you were saying earlier on as well, even if the lyrical content and the moods of the album can be quite like, I don't know, like deep, we're a bit of a party band ultimately, so even if the subject matter,
we don't go this song is about this, so we have to write the music like this. Not like, it's almost like a, what's the word, like
we described it as like an album full of bangers, like every single track you just want to write something and jump.
I think that's it. It's almost, I don't know, sometimes I think it's like, when you talk about these really deep subjects, I think actually the music's like the safe space. Because you're just like, I can talk about suicide, and I'm gonna jump in a mosh pit, and I'm gonna be happy. And it's just like, I actually think the riffs and the fucking music's like that kind of safety barrier. Because I feel like everyone's in a room together and they're having the fucking time of their lives, but they're also thinking about.
100%. Yeah, it is. It's I think that's what, like, when you think about like people work their day jobs and all the rest, the pit or the experience of live music is that, you know,
honestly,
the
this tour has been amazing to see that, like see people's, I always like look at folks' faces in the pit and like seeing the adrenaline and this energy just been like they've had the fucking cunt of a week, and then they're just like
it's universal as well. You know what I mean? It's universal as well, because you guys have just come back from Europe as well.
That's the thing. Never headlined Europe, and the same. We were seeing that with people that don't speak the same language as us. That is incredible. Like that's all so reaffirming.
So this is the last day of the tour. You're back in Glasgow, back in the home country. And what can people expect tonight? Anarchy.
I mean,
it freaking better be.
It fucking better be. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not turning up to fucking play. Like, this is you can't let me down.
This is the biggest Glasgow show you've done,
Yes.
It is. I mean, every show in this tour is the biggest show in each city we've ever done.
That's amazing.
Which is
it's
great.
Mad.
Yeah, it's good, because we always are so harsh on ourselves and we're like, oh, we want to be bigger, but if you actually assess what we've just done, it's been really amazing.
Selling out places like Bristol and like
the London show was
Bristol once.
Crazy. We haven't played Bristol for 6 years.
And
Newcastle last night we hadn't played
Newcastle
for
was
6 years.
Mental.
And last night we did like 300 people, which is great for us. Do you know what I mean? But so tonight better be good too. Right?
Fuck, I swear to God, I would fucking imagine.
Pressure's on.
No, honestly, because London was chaos. And London doesn't usually hit the same.
Everyone says that.
London's hit or miss, super hit or miss, and it was
London
fucking
was
amazing.
Chaos, so I swear to God, man, I bet
that's all you need to say at the start is London was chaos, and then just
don't fucking embarrass me.
That's it. We're setting up a war here.
I know, man.
I think it'll be good.
So, as kind of like a final question, you guys are already starting to demo stuff.
Trying to.
And how do you feel that writing process is going? Like in terms of, obviously you don't want to commit to answers which people will then lock on and say, well, they said they were going to write something like this.
That is true.
You don't want to lock at that. At the same time though, now that you've come out of that, and now you're out experiencing, like, you're on the road and all the rest, do you think that will change the kind of the mood and temperature? Because you tend to find that when bands come off really good live tours, that energy, and you're already a very energetic band, I don't know if you can turn it up to another level, but
you're always, like, I think when you write, like, you're always thinking, how's this going to translate live? And you're always pushing that sound in the record to how's this going to translate live? And it works amazingly.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because like sitting at home writing on our laptops, it's actually hard to get your head in the right space to think how that will translate. It's quite difficult sometimes, honestly. So I don't know. I mean, even though we have a couple of demos, it's really still hard to say exactly what. There's no point in committing to anything. There's not, like, we're not trying to go in a certain direction. We just write songs that we're inspired by what we hear. And, you know, like, that's
the thing about tour. Like, we listen to a lot of music on tour because you have so much downtime. You're in the van for fucking like 40 hours a day. So that's one thing I've loved is like just listening to going down a rabbit hole of music. Absolutely. That definitely kind of subconsciously stores in your head. And already, like, it's kind of made me think more about like top lines and structures.
Like, there's a lot of music that me and Janine have been sending to each other the past couple of months that I think is already starting to develop what the next album might be influenced by. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I know for you, Ethel Cain's huge, and Bill Murray's new album, and like all this is incredible. Like, just
I've been pure like rinsing like kind of. Well, I went to a stage where I was listening like Naughty's trance, like again, and like as a few things, I just like it's trying to like isolate what I like about that, and then make it into or make it into a Vukovi track. But that's the fun part, I suppose.
Who fucking knows?
I know. Honestly, man, we're not a predictable band.
Like we were saying that, like when you listen to Nula, and then I think the first track I ever heard from you guys was Boy George. Way back in the day.
Fucking Vukovi style.
Like so we played it on, we had like a radio show at the time when we played it, and then I was like, these are fucking, they're from Scotland. It's fucking amazing. Like, do you imagine? So like, I can't wait to hear where you guys go next.
We do always talk about though, like, as long as we're excited about what we're writing, that's really all that matters.
Never phone it in. So.
If we feel like we're losing it, then we fucked it. We always get so excited.
No, I'm already like itching to get. To get these,
it's a good feeling.
Done.
I can't wait to hear it, man. I can't wait. All the best on tonight's show. I can't wait to fucking see it. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
Nula's available just now. Please go and buy it. Support these guys. And we'll catch you somewhere down the road.
Yes.
Thank you. See you in the pit.
See you in the fucking pit.
Thank you.